Lance. Haven't been here for a couple weeks. I've been vacationing in Canada. So an interesting note about Canada before we dive into the notes here. Canada, they actually, on their news stations, put out more about, I'd say it's about 50-50 American news and Canadian news. So if you guys didn't know that, they talk a lot about American politics. So yeah, tonight we're going to be talking about, I'll be talking about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. Shane will be talking about...
I really don't know. I heard of Bitcoin. I just, the cryptocurrencies and all that other mumbo jumbo, it's probably important, but on my end, if it doesn't directly affect me,
yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, wow. Anyway, I'd be diving into the possible coup that's has been talked about for the last about a week or so now.
Well, it's actually been
going on
since the election.
Well, yeah, but I mean more now than ever. So we'll be diving into the coup and some other things. George, what do you got?
Just a little leftist madness. I got a little Venezuela, a little bit on some hate speech and the double standard. Just the little side tidbits out there that they all kind of go unnoticed, but yet they do have an overall effect on our lives.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the stand tonight. We are your hosts, Shane, Lance, and George, on this. I gotta look at my watch. 8th of August, 2017.
Don't forget to mention the T-shirts.
Right, exactly. And you see myself and George wearing the T-shirts. Actually, these are now going to be coming in. And for all the T-shirts that we have, they're on a very limited supply. So first come, first serve, and then obviously we're going to get more as they come. So George has Home of the Free because of the brave. I have Liberty or Death. Don't tread on me. And then Lance has a beautiful, nice collared shirt on.
He has a nice casual business attire.
Blue. Yeah.
Casual business attire.
Checkered.
Very nice. Although we don't sell it in a store. But we do sell the two other shirts myself and George are wearing. So if you do want to purchase one of the shirts, of course they're available for bid, and we're updating our store as we speak. Thanks to our new crew member, I can't talk. New crew member, Aaron, deep down in the basement, doing the archives and everything else. I really appreciate his hard work. So what do you want, guys? What do you want to start?
Well, what's the biggest news of the day? I mean, what happened today in the news?
We'll talk about your coup first.
Yeah, the coup, that's top of the news. I mean, it's
daily news.
Yeah, it's daily. It's something that's it's an ongoing narrative.
Well, I mean, what do you guys feel about it? Do you think it's a real possibility that's going to take place, or?
Well, they're still talking about the whole Russian narrative.
Well, it has calmed down a little bit.
But it's still in there every other day.
They're beating that drum. Yeah, they're still beating that drum. I don't know. I think what they're going to do, and this is just a prediction, they're going to get somebody somewhere on a procedural crime, basically like they did Martha Stewart.
Right.
Martha Stewart went to prison not because of insider trading or whatever they accused her of. They sent her to prison over false statements to the FBI. Now that's a small crime in and of itself, and it is a crime, but they'll get some of Trump's administration on this because look, these guys run very big, busy lives.
Right.
Someone's going to say something, and it's going to be wrong, and all those little piss ants that are digging over everything and examining everything with a magnifying glass are going to find something wrong. They're going to send some mid-level Trump administrative person to jail, and it's just gonna fire him up, and Maxine Waters will go on a let's impeach Trump tour again.
Not even, man. She can barely talk.
But that's all she screams.
So do you know how many lawyers Robert Mueller actually has in his counsel?
Yeah. So Lance, break down the whole Mueller thing, the whole investigation, how he's selecting his own special panel, and I forgot what state he's doing it in, but
he's in 3 states now.
Right. Where it's mostly where Clinton won those states,
So I'd say almost, if you do the research, every single one of the lawyers in his counsel has helped out Obama or been appointed by Obama or appointed by Bill Clinton or has helped the Clintons in the foundation or somewhere in the long lines.
They're either all former associates or donors of the Clinton campaign or
right.
Obama administration, which is something that they don't ever mention is that Trump does have the legal authority to fire Mueller. And he can fire, and he can fire him on the basis that there is a statute that says that no special counsel can be impaneled if the people or persons they may be investigating they have a relationship with, i.e. Comey.
Exactly. But another thing that the Congress just came out with a couple days ago was they brought up 2 laws that they're going to try to pass. Both the Democrats and Republicans are working on these laws. One is to say that the president cannot fire the special counsel if he is being investigated by him. The other one is the president will not be able to fire the special prosecutor ever. It has to go through a federal court judge.
So let me guess, it's the Democrats are pushing the first one.
No, both Republicans and
there's a combined effort.
Bipartisanship, both on effort, or both effort on both of them.
Now, this is the trap that the Democrats set for themselves every single time. Or like the line item veto. Remember when they wanted to be able to do line item vetoes where they could cross things off a bill that the president didn't like, and you could veto specific items. And the Democrats, when they have their president in office, oh no, line item's bad, line item's bad. Then when the Republicans in office, we need a line item veto. Well, they got it finally, I believe.
Right.
And now they're complaining because now there's an opposition candidate is in the White House. You have to be careful of the laws you pass because they can be that you think you need right now.
Right.
I need this law right now because I gotta circumvent everything Trump does. Well, 9 years from now, when it's reversed, there'll be a Republican going, I'm gonna use this law that you guys created to circumvent your president, and the Democrats will be like, well, we gotta change that law. They do it all the time. It's what happens when you have no principles or any standards that or honor.
No morals or anything else. Absolutely.
This is basically both parties working against Trump, though.
And it's the never Trumpers.
Well, exactly. It's the never Trumpers.
Okay.
So if this doesn't scream coup, I don't know what does.
Well, you know what? And we've seen this since the very beginning. It's the establishment versus everybody else.
Right.
He's there to disrupt
the establishment.
He is there to say they're not working for us anymore. It's been obvious for 25, 30 years that they are not working for us. They probably never were,
right.
But it's so obvious now that even anybody can tell if they just spend a few minutes watching. I mean, D.C. has the lowest unemployment rate of anywhere in the country. They have the highest home prices per county of anywhere else in the country. They don't live like we do. They don't suffer the things that people do. So I equate it to it's Versailles. It's Versailles. It's the French living in their little provincial gated community, and the lower classes outside struggling to get by. And look what happened to them.
And so you got to ask yourself, why would a billionaire ever run for president?
Well, it's 2 things. Either I don't know. I've never been a billionaire, so I can't imagine what the mindset of a billionaire is. Maybe he thinks if you become a billionaire, it's because
why would you ever do it?
Well, it's because you have some kind of drive. Now, is his drive to become the most powerful person in the world, or is he there to do good? You can't really tell until he gets started. I personally think he's not doing it to expand his coffers or make himself richer. I mean, when I drove by the Trump Tower the other day, I was looking at it going, the guy owns the whole building.
I know.
It's got his name on it. At some point,
this is just one.
This is just one, and they're all over the place.
Yeah.
So my point is, maybe, and I think it's the case, there's a pretty good chance he's up there to do good for the people. He's said it over and over. I don't see, if there was any evidence of him ingratiating himself or increasing his wealth, trust me, the Democrats would broadcast it all over the news. So I honestly think he's up there to build a wall, to stop illegal immigration, to curb crime, to create jobs. It's all he's done so far.
Well, I mean, look what he's done. He doesn't do parades or boaster about it or anything else like that. You know, what he does is through his actions. You know, and you see it. Stock market's the highest ever. The most jobs. What was it? Up in the
our gross national product GDP is up. I mean, Obama never got past 1% in the entire 8 years.
Right.
And the average is 3.
Yeah.
And Trump's almost a 3 now in the first 6 months.
Right.
So
200 days.
Yeah. I think despite what people will say about him, I think we have to look at his actions and the results.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, he squashed TPP and his first couple of days of being president, which is a godsend. You know, I mean, if people really look into it, which most of our viewers have, you know, it's a horrible thing for countries to have. I mean, it just undermines everything that the country has in place as far as laws. I mean, the list goes on and on what things he's done.
Well, there was another
for like an hour. You know,
there was another little news blurb, and I'm surprised I haven't heard more about it. Was that we have as of the last couple of days, we have officially pulled out of the Paris Accords.
Yes.
And it's funny that this
They
has
said
happened.
it would take years.
Yeah, it did take years.
It's
funny that this also comes on the heels of Al Gore reemerging his.
His second
His
movie,
Inconvenient Truth 2.
Part 2.
You know what's a real
It's
inconvenient
made $1
truth?
million so far.
It was 15 in the box office.
Yeah,
Yes.
You know, and I mean.
He
I
said
don't
it was
know.
a box office bust. Like they all like threw fits about it. The Democrats even came out and were like, "Oh, you guys sabotaged our movie."
Now I lived in Hollywood, and I don't know. I can't say I know much about it, but I can say that there's no one in their right mind could tell a movie or a TV or a movie production house that they sabotaged their own movie. They're in the business of making money, not sabotaging their own product.
I don't know.
So I mean that's the direction the liberals and the Democrats always take when they meet any kind of opposition or trouble. It's always blame somebody else. Don't blame the movie studio. Why don't we blame the
Al
message?
Gore. Yeah.
Blame Al Gore.
Blame Al Gore.
The fact that
Man Bear Pig.
the fact that most of the people in this country don't give a rat's rear end about climate change.
Well, it's all fraud.
Most of us believe it's a fraud. I personally believe, and I use Lake Mead as a perfect example of how the weather
So
changes.
back up.
In 1983, the spillways were used for the first time ever in the entire history of the dam. The lake was so high that it was spilling over into the spillways. That has only happened once in the 70 years of the dam. Now, 30 years later, it's at its
That's the
lowest. Gee, that seems, now if it comes back up, that
It
will be
has came back up a lot.
Yes, and it will every time we have a good winter in the Colorados, where this is where the water is fed from. It'll be
Like if you take Lake Havasu, which is not too far away from us, they're actually at peak levels.
right. And my point is that it's in a cycle. I guarantee you the lake will get back to normal at some point. Maybe it might take 10 years. You know, it took 10 years plus for it to lower.
Right.
So it might take 10 years to fill back up. My point is, you'll never hear about it.
So
it doesn't suit their narrative.
Right, exactly. So getting back into the coup, how do you think we can beat this? How do you think we can get around this thing? As you know, just the common Joe, you know, the common American people out there.
Do you want to give you some more facts about Mueller and what he's trying to do?
Well, that too, but I think you know it's already been beaten to a certain point. But
I would just say that
yeah,
every single American out there, when you hear something that doesn't make sense and that you know it's part of their overall plan to break down the current administration or to usurp the power from the people, you have to call BS. And you have to use the whole world. You have to stand and go, that is bull.
right,
crap.
exactly.
So let me give you a couple more facts about Mueller.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Mueller just this last week, he put in a grand jury. So he's going to start subpoena people.
Right.
He's going to start having people testify.
Yeah,
start going to put
in
witnesses
a
up
private court hearings and everything else.
Yes. So he already has, or he just did that. So I mean, his investigation is furthering, but his whole investigation was to look into Russian collusion, but he still hasn't really released anything about it. And
He's not going to. Yeah, you know, the investigation moved on from Russia. They were obviously didn't find
collusion
anything.
in the election was
Right.
what he was specifically supposed to do.
That's what it was only supposed to be about. But now he's expanding it to stuff even before the election, get into their
Now he's looking into he just subpoenaed the White House for all
Right.
of Flynn's documents with all his Russian contacts.
But see, he went in to investigate the
election.
Russian collusion delusion, but they told him he had free reign to take his investigation anywhere he wanted, which is basically, it's become a purge.
yes.
He's going to get in there and he's going to look until he finds something wrong. And again, it goes back to anything that's this complicated. Finances, and these are all people who travel the globe,
Yes.
have businesses, they're lawyers, they're involved in corporations. They will find some irregularity somewhere and they'll crucify somebody,
Right.
and they'll use it to go, well, look, we found this, we can keep looking. This is just a Soviet-style kangaroo court. If they can't find something, they will make something up.
Well, and I think Trump needs to stop it before it gets even worse.
Well,
he really does.
If he fires Mueller,
Which he can do.
It's okay. Yeah.
And the Republicans and Democrats are trying to put a block in front of him.
Exactly. Well, he needs to get rid of them before they put that block in.
No.
And so
Trump can't get rid of the Republicans that are in the way we can, and we have to.
So
all
the rhinos, just don't vote for them.
No, if they're not pulling, I hate to say it, if they're not towing the line of our belief system, they have to go. Now, did you notice? And this is a little side bet, and I gave a little cheer. The governor from West Virginia, he switched sides. He became a Republican because he said the Democratic Party could no longer.
It's too crazy for him.
Yeah, there's going to be more of that.
I hope so.
And I guarantee you, somewhere in an office filled with cigar smoke and cognac, a bunch of establishment Democrats all took a collective crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost another.
Because now the Republicans hold 26 of the states governorships in this country.
But I mean, what are they doing with it?
It's a start.
It's a start, but it's like a war amongst each other.
And then another thing about the news is there was another governor, a Republican governor, just the other day, and he was up for re-election, or is going to be up for re-election, and they're calling it Trump versus him, or whatever his name is.
Is he a Republican?
He is a Republican.
Why are they making it a Trump versus him?
Because he is against Trump's immigration policies. And so they're just trying to make it the narrative.
Oh, it's one of those. If he wins, he shows that there's a mandate in opposition to Trump. Like every time, like that election in Georgia, where they had the
Trump killer.
Yeah, the Trump killer, and when he was like, this will show that people are turning against Trump and they're really on our side. And then when he lost, they just like, oh, okay, move on to the next one.
Next special election done. Next election.
That's the one where they spent
27 million to 7.
So I mean, the biggest.
But that proves that money doesn't beat ideas.
But it does give them a good chance.
It does help.
It does help.
I can do a lot with 27 million. I'm pretty sure I could find myself on the city council if somebody gave me 27 million.
Oh yeah.
I could manage it. Then you just get there and you wind up going to jail because you've given money to somebody the wrong way, and the Democrats will.
That's in someone's pocket.
Yeah.
So So back to my question: what can American people do as far as this coup that's coming, man? Because it's going to come. Like you said, they're going to keep digging and digging and digging till they find something, and then ultimately come after him and the administration.
Well, unfortunately, what will happen? There'll be outrage. There will be people in the street.
Right.
There will be violence. Because I'm sorry,
it breaks down to violence eventually.
Eventually, everything winds up violent because the average person out there can see what's happening. If you watch the news for 5 minutes a day, you can figure out what they're doing.
Right.
And unfortunately, as soon as it becomes more chaotic, which is what the left wants, they'll turn everybody who marches down the street with a placard that says "You just stole our president." They'll say they're terrorists. That's the standard operating procedure for the left. When the anarchists burn down Berkeley, they're just practicing free speech. If you and I go out and stand in a corner and complain peacefully, we're terrorists. So you watch, that's how it'll go. We'll become domestic terrorists because we opposed their opposition.
So, even though Trump's on vacation right now.
Right. This is what has me really worried. Him being on vacation, coming back.
He's calling it a work vacation because he's still.
Well, I mean, you never truly on him.
Okay, this has been going on with every president since at least at this level since George Bush when he won in 2002.
Right.
When a president goes on vacation, I guarantee you, even if it was Obama and I didn't like the guy, it's not a vacation like you and I know. They used to talk about how Crawford, Texas was where George Bush went all the time. I guarantee you, when he went to Crawford, Texas, he wasn't just out there chopping little bits of wood and having a fire and drinking a beer by the. No, I guarantee you, there was a room in that mansion somewhere that was a war room with video monitors, conference calls.
Right.
I mean, he virtually is was as in contact with everybody in Washington as if he was there, because that's how he's in contact with them there.
Right.
So-
How many people actually see the president in Washington?
Not many.
No.
Well, especially
Except for
now
the people
since
he invites.
With electronics. With the way communications are now.
Just click.
Yeah, I guarantee you that something pops out of the floor and there's a TV screen and the president's
He looks
talking
at
to
it.
somebody in England. You know, yeah.
So the thing is, I'm guessing, my prediction is Trump is actually going on this vacation to actually talk to a whole bunch of people about North Korea.
Oh yeah, okay. First off, Trump has already proven that he's not a guy who lounges around. Because if he did, he wouldn't be a billionaire and he wouldn't be the president. I mean, when he tweets at 4 a.m, he's up already.
Yeah.
He's been up.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to bed or waking up.
I don't know what he's on, but what he does. But
The
yeah.
whole North Korea thing has been blowing up in the last week. Like, China is actually scared of North Korea. The Philippines are scared of North Korea. Because North Korea just said that they have ICBMs now, and they're actually going to use them now.
Yes, they've openly threatened Guam.
And if you just watched,
That came out today.
and they're like in their last, in one of the last articles or whatever about North Korea, they actually have missiles that are shooting out of subs.
North Korea has them?
It
I
showed
didn't know
them.
they had that yet. But
So they're already there. So China, I don't know what China will do if we actually just go what Trump said today. He said he's just going to like firebomb carpet the whole thing.
Well, see, here's the problem with the thing China, because China now has joined the world stage.
Yeah.
And when you join the world stage, there's certain things that you come to realize. That war is not good for your economy. Economy is bad for your people. When your people don't like things, you're out of power. War is chaos. War is expensive.
Right.
War it's not just death and violence. It's got ramifications all over the planet. And they're looking at, because China, even though they're a bold powerhouse right now, they're still just getting started.
Right.
They don't need, some global conflict.
They got their first aircraft carrier last year.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, China knows how. If we had to fight China, we have a very
They don't
simple.
have the military,
we
right?
already have this very simple doctrine with China. They have more men than we do. So
Right.
all
We'll
we
let
can
them
do is
across the
vaporize
ocean.
them. No, we have to vaporize them. How many billion Chinese are there that can fight?
They won't be able to get across the ocean. That's what I'm saying.
True, but they can march all over the continent that they're on.
Sure, go ahead, let them.
Yeah, they could march into South Korea. They could still float
And
over
then
the
if they
Philippines.
start doing that, watch
Yeah.
what Russia does to them.
Yeah, they could march into Russia, but the thing is, they understand that their only strength is their numbers, but that's their biggest weakness because, they have a vast military, don't be wrong, but push comes to shove, we'd have to use tactical nukes on them.
Right.
Because we can't beat
Well,
them in a man-to-man fight.
I'll say nukes, maybe a couple Moabs here and there.
No, they'd go nuke, because you do that, you tell everybody, I'm not messing around.
Wow.
China could march into India if they wanted to.
Yeah.
India couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
If China got it in
They're
their
already
head.
pushing on India's gates too.
Yeah,
Like,
if they wanted to, they could march all over the Eurasia continent right there, because they have the numbers. Now, can they feed them and keep the supply lines open? Who knows? But they'll get there. They could cause a lot of havoc, and they don't want that because they know that that's not how you build a strong economy. North Korea is like and I hate to use like a Ross Perot type thing, but it's like your drug-addicted nephew
Yeah.
who's living in the basement.
No, I
You're-
wouldn't say nephew, because I'm sure they would have just got rid of him at this
Well,
point.
he's connected somehow.
It's like the redheaded stepkid.
Yeah, I know exactly how that feels. But they want to kick him out. They don't want to destroy him because he kind of serves a purpose, and they've been in a relationship forever. But yet, when does it become cost ineffective to keep a relationship with him?
Right, exactly.
Each generation of these leaders has gotten worse. If you think about it, if we could go back to his grandfather, we would embrace that guy compared to this nut job.
Or his dad.
Yeah.
Even his dad.
Even to a certain extent,
Yeah.
right.
Because
Well,
now he's just like,
I
I'm going
think-
to blow up America. I'm going to kill America. Every week he's saying
well,
it.
with his grandfather and father, at least there was some sense to him. At least all right. Hey,
There was vibrato. There was brag. They bragged, but and they threatened, but we all knew they didn't have anything to back it up with.
right.
But that's not the case anymore. If the guy has,
He has ICBMs.
if he has ICBMs,
and
he's threatened Alaska, the Bay Area, any coastal city, and now they're even saying, I heard one thing that they said he might have one that could reach Chicago.
Yeah, he has ICBMs that can actually reach Chicago. The whole half the United States, it can get as far as that is what they predict.
Wow.
What U.S. has come out with.
You know, so yeah, it is troublesome, and honestly, it needs to be explained to the public that what his potential is.
Yeah.
Every day they say this guy could nuke us all over the place, and this is what, when we have to do something about it. We need American people to understand that violence might break out, and we might have to go over and really, because I think you're right.
He did launch an ICBM not too long ago, a month ago, and it did go all the way to Japan.
Well, you know, Japan is absolutely apoplectically freaked out about this because
it's landing in their waters.
South Korea.
They actually have a video, and they claim it to be the missile re-entry.
Yeah.
Just off the coast of Japan. You can see city lights, and you can see it dropping out of the night sky.
Right.
And
now,
America, or the U.S., had their Navy on that coast watching it. And once it got to its apex, they're like, okay, it's not coming towards us. It's going towards Japan. Not our call. Their call.
right. And I think Japan should loosen up the restraints on them, and they should be able to build an offensive nuke force, because the Koreans and the Japanese have always had a bit of animosity. So I can't imagine that the North Koreans...
The Koreans have it, and the Japan does, or Japan doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, Japan, our friend, can't have nukes, but North Korea, the crazy...
It's all about the Geneva Convention.
No, actually, it's post World War II.
Yeah, World War II.
We signed on the battleship.
Geez, it's been what, 80-some years now?
Yeah, I think it's okay to let them be.
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely not Imperial Japan anymore.
No, I think they're so far beyond that.
We'll just say this: what do you think if Trump says we're declaring war on North Korea?
He won't declare war.
He'll wait for them to shoot.
He won't declare war
until they shoot a missile at one of our cities.
Yeah, we have to be provoked. He has to do
that way. It's all qualified. It's
right,
all
but
good.
even then, you know, he could. You know, North Korea could nuke Seattle and wipe out the most amount of liberals in a single blow, and the left will still scream no. They'll be the biggest opposition.
Peace. We want peace.
No, it's because, again, I say that the Democratic Party is the party of the Communist Party, and they're actually on his side.
Right. Well, I mean, look at Clinton. They gave up all those launch codes and everything else to his dad a long time ago.
We gave up so much secrets and so much money to North Korea. We basically funded the problem we're dealing with now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know?
Or I should say Clinton did.
Clinton, right. I mean, so on two fronts, two things I want to cover. Just finish up the coup thing real quick. I think the American people should start marching out against this, or start speaking publicly, contacting their senators and congressmen. Try to get a hold of the send letters to the president for what it's worth, and then ultimately, not many of us have time on our hands, but form a rally at Washington to try to stop this whole nonsense thing. I think that's all we can do for right now, except for speaking out against it, which it does a certain thing, but who's it really targeting? So we really have to start hitting this thing home to the people it counts,
So one of the things that I think about that's going to happen is an event that's going to cause unification.
Well, it will. And
just
then
like
the second, well, it will. It either cause unification or it's going to cause a huge division in this country that will never be mended.
Well, we already have that.
Well, it'll go further than what it is.
Honestly, I don't know. Even 9/11, how long were the Democrats and the liberals?
That only lasted about a year, really. A year.
Didn't Dick Durbin run over to Iraq right away?
Yeah.
Didn't there was another senator ran over to Iraq and worked with Saddam when we were getting ready to go to war against him. Kennedy in the 80s went to the Kremlin and conspired with the leaders to work against Reagan during the height of the Cold War. The Democrats and liberals, and one of the things that offends me the most about them, and I don't know if I'll be able to adequately explain this, is when they say we support the troops, and they don't mean it.
No,
they support the troops on their posters and on TV when they're trying to get elected, but they don't do anything for the VA. They don't do anything for the military. They're constantly trying to cut the budget. They're trying to gut the military.
Support the police. They
don't.
They can't stand the cops.
No, and I got a list I'm going to bring next week. Remind me of what liberals say and what they do.
Right.
And I had it all written out. I didn't bring it today because weren't going to go down this road. But basically, they're not our friends. They're not. And as what to do about the coup, here's my suggestion: get on the phone, call your congressman, call your senators, call your local anybody. Just start at the bottom, start at the city level, and call everybody till you get to the White House.
Right.
Just call everybody. We should get those numbers and
Yeah,
Start
we'll put them
posting
out.
them. All these numbers. These are.
Well, they do it all the time. We just don't have them handy.
Right.
But yeah, call them and be angry because that's what a politician fears the most is an angry constituent.
Yeah, exactly, because they want to vote for next time. Now, my thoughts on North Korea. I agree wholeheartedly. Why isn't why isn't the American government putting out warnings that this guy could possibly hit your town, your city?
Well, they don't want panic, but
they don't want panic.
But they did impose a travel ban and said no American should go to Korea.
They should.
They should go to North Korea.
Done that.
Yeah, which is about all you can do at this point.
But I mean,
They
why
did
the
test out those
schools?
2 THAAD missile systems.
Yes.
Why aren't the schools doing drills and stuff like that? I'm serious, man.
No, it's the only reason I'm laughing is because I'm trying to learn a little bit of the production thing. I happened across some sound waves,
Yeah.
and one of them is the old-fashioned, and some of you guys are too young to know
No,
these.
I know it.
Is the air warning siren?
Yeah, the air raid.
Yeah, and
Never heard it.
never heard it. See, every Saturday at noon it used to go off.
Yeah.
Every Saturday. That's how you knew it was Saturday. At noon it would go off. Cartoons are over. Let's get outside.
Yeah.
I'll have to bring it in so so some of us will know it. Like some of our.
I'm sure I've heard it in movies and stuff. That.
Yeah, but it's just it's a very unique sound, and we should start testing for that again because even though, and I've said this when the Soviet Union fell, that just because the Soviet Union left, the nuclear threat wasn't over.
Right.
Because
Absolutely.
the nukes are still there.
Yeah.
It's just changed. The threat has just
changed
changed
hands.
Yeah, the threat went from Soviets to Putin. The threat in Asia went from China and everybody and now it's North Korea. It's just, there's the nuclear threat's still out there, and we've all become complacent. Most people don't even. I remember when they used to set them off underground.
Yeah.
100 miles away, they'd set them off underground, and you could feel it. That's a really weird feeling too. By the way, it's not an earthquake. It's not like an earthquake at all. It's like being on a boat. It's a very weird wave.
Right.
But yeah, it's still a potential. It's still, I'm surprised the Dems haven't latched a hold of it because they're very anti-nuclear.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, they're anti-nuclear for us.
Well, yeah.
North Korea can have them.
Yeah.
Russians can have them.
Iran,
Heck, they'll even give them to Iran. They'll even give them to Canada, but we can't have them.
Speaking of Iran, their nuclear program's catching up.
We don't hear much about that lately because it's all about North Korea. But
Exactly.
there was a report that I read, and I think it was
on the back burner.
Well, no, I read a thing on Wall Street Journal, I believe it was, is that Iran has taken all their technology and the money we gave them, and they have been selling this technology to North Korea. Well, if they hate us and North Korea hates us, wouldn't you send them some money? Make a very good deal for somebody else? Because see, now we got to deal with North Korea over here in Asia, and we're really not paying attention to Iran in the Middle East. And they're both working against us, and they're both on opposite sides of the globe, and America's attention is
Split.
It's not split. We have a very focused view.
Yes.
It's like North Korea. That's all we see right now. I don't know what's going on there because I'm worried about this. Now, there's people worried about that, but it's not in the news. And they'll be like, "Oh, wait, Iran." Now we didn't hear about Korea for a couple of years.
And then next thing you know, we're going to get hit by Korea or something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, what it is the American public gets its information like a slice of pie.
Right.
One piece at a time. If you take in the whole big picture, Iran's helping North Korea. North Korea's threatening us. It's the same as if Iran is threatening us.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a proxy war. And who else?
Iran's feeding all of them like nukes and missiles and.
Well, look how fast North Korea's technology is boosted.
Boom.
They went from
blowing up missiles on their launch pads too.
Well, a few years ago, they would set off an underground detonation and it would fail.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have ICBMs in just 5 or 6 years. I mean, that's fast. That progression is faster than we did it during when we first started in the United States. So they're getting help from somewhere. Most likely, it's Iran through proxy nations.
What was it? The chancellor or somebody like that? I don't know exactly. I got to find the article.
You know what?
But he traveled over to Iran. One of the North Koreans' ambassadors.
Oh, they're over there all the time.
Exactly. So of course there's collusion. Where's some
real collusion right there.
Exactly, man.
You know what? A TV show actually does a whole show on this about Iran colluding with North Korea.
No.
Homeland. The latest season they do it.
All right.
You know what? I mean, it makes sense. Life or art does imitate life, and vice versa.
Exactly. Yep.
You know, but yeah, it sounds reasonable.
But they were actually so convinced that Hillary was going to win, they made a woman president.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
Well, I mean,
that happens every time. That happened last time, and then the president turned out to be an African American male, and there are a lot of, that's where the show VP comes from.
Right. Or was it Madam Secretary? It's all based off of Clinton, so whatever.
You know what? I'm sorry. That boat's just sailed. She's never going to be president.
Oh no, but Newsweek published a whole thing on us.
She's going to run 2020 probably.
No, Newsweek they published a whole if she would have won type thing,
Well, has her book come out yet? The book called What Happened?
Oh, what happened? You failed. That's what happened.
Well, actually, there's a soundbite out there, and it's of her going, "What happened?" And every time I hear that title, I hear that in my head. It just makes me laugh. But yeah, because I'll tell you what happened. You were a horrible candidate.
Just a horrible person, and everybody knows it. They can feel it. Just by looking at you, you're scum, you're evil.
It's just first of all, you can't tell everybody in the country that they're deplorable.
Well, yeah. Well,
half. Well, apparently a little more than half. A little more than half.
Well, I would say about 80% of the country voted for Trump.
So, anyway, yeah, the whole coup thing. And
95% of the population voted for Trump.
Let's just go with 100 if you're going to do that.
100%.
Welcome to the North Korean propaganda station. I know. Just making stuff up as we go.
No, I'm just joking.
No, but as far as the coup, be active. As far as North Korea, be skeptical, keep an eye on it, watch the news.
Right, exactly.
Maybe
and get prepared.
Maybe you don't want to live in the coastal city right now.
Yeah, honestly,
what are you going to do? You going to pack up and move on a baby?
Well, no, I'm not saying pack up and move, but be prepared. In case you just
then you're gone.
Well, given their track record, it's probably going to splash down somewhere between Hawaii and San Diego anyway. But still,
if it does make it to California, though.
If it does make it to California, it'll probably just sputter and crash into La Cienega and
probably take out a dock or something.
Yeah.
But just get prepared, folks, because you never know. I mean, this coup thing could turn into a civil war. Always be prepared for that. This nuclear thing.
Well, if the coup does happen, I predict a lot of unhappy right-wing, newly titled domestic terrorists.
Michael Savage has even said it's going to be civil war once that happens.
Well, it stands to reason. What would they look what they did when they just lost a legal election? Could you imagine if we did this to them?
Oh, it'd be insane.
If we impeached their president,
we would all be terrorists at this
point. They would riot in the streets for weeks.
Yeah.
So
they did after he got elected.
They did just after he got elected, and their candidate lost fair and square.
But doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? They're loving. We're loving.
Did you hear about? I'm going to quickly change the subject. Did you hear about Bernie Sanders' new book?
No.
It's a book aimed right at preteens
about
socialist guidelines.
Yeah, how to be a socialist.
How to be a socialist.
How to be a socialist.
We're going to start a political revolution. That's what he says.
Whatever, man.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
He always throws that arm out too. I was like,
yeah. Well, it's the rigor mortis kicking in.
You know what? I don't know where this old fart came from. I don't know why he's popular. If you actually talk to people and tell them, without mentioning his name, what his policies are, they all disagree.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you go to, what was that? I saw a lot of videos. You go to, what was it, Hillary person and stuff like that. You start talking Trump and everything else like that.
And then you preach her policies to them. They're like, oh, no, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that wasn't Trump. That's Hillary.
What?
And they always have that look of shock.
Yeah.
But one thing about socialism, and I just want to stress.
Well, Bernie created damn Venezuela, by the way.
Well, he talked them up.
Yeah.
You don't hear him mention Venezuela anymore.
Of course he's not, man. The country's in turmoil.
Turmoil.
It's
they just. Oh, can I? What I found.
Yeah,
let's switch over to this.
This is a good one. Let me find it. It's the bottom of my.
We've been everywhere, but
yeah, it's the bottom of my pile of stuff. It's about Venezuela.
Sorry, Lance is back. We got
Yeah, we're just playing. It's three guys complaining on the couch. Basically,
we just need a couch then.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to. This is really not
Just make a couch, get rid of the table. And
A little one, so we put our drinks on it.
No, you need a little table.
Little nightstands.
Little
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Used to be in the furniture business. I can't think of the name of that table. Anyway, it's not an end table. It's a little round one right here. We don't have chairs that high.
Come on, man.
I don't like high tables.
Well, no, you take the lower ones. I take the high ones.
You saying you need a high chair?
Yes.
Do you want me to put a tray in front of you too? Get you some little baby carrots.
HB over here.
But
actually, this is from Bloomberg News. A Venezuelan assembly rewriting the nation's constitution is intensifying a campaign of persecution. What's that?
Continue.
Oh, a campaign of persecution.
Broke your Sharpie marker.
Yeah, you missed that. You weren't here. And sent opposition. It sent the opposing politicians into hiding, exile, and prison. It basically, what's it's called? It's called the Truth Commission. Okay, right out of 1984.
exactly.
The Truth Commission.
The Ministry of Truth.
President Nicolas Maduro said that the Constituent Assembly, which on Tuesday declared itself the nation's supreme political authority. Okay, that right there smacks of dictatorship. Will strip legal immunity. Okay, it's legal immunity from the National Assembly that has opposed him. So basically said, you don't have any immunity, we're just going to grab you and throw you in jail.
Exactly.
This is such a South American banana republic tactic where they just victimize and persecute their political opponents. I guarantee you Venezuela will have what Argentina had with the missing persons.
Yeah.
Thousands of people are just going to disappear. There'll be death squads that show up in the night. If I lived in Venezuela and if I wasn't on that party's, if I wasn't part of the party, I'd be packing up and moving out.
Oh, did you see what their gifts were for staying loyal to them?
No, I didn't see that.
So Maduro, he had his general give out to all the soldiers and all the people that were loyal to him some toilet paper.
Oh, that's right. I did see that. Yes.
Products, like either feminine products or male products.
Wow, and I was thinking it was going to be gold or cash.
No,
something even more valuable apparently.
Basic supplies, basic
stuff that I can go down to the 7-Eleven and buy in bulk.
Right, he gives it as a token of reward.
And they said you've been loyal, I'm going to give you a big roll of Charmin.
Not even Charmin. Basic one ply.
One ply? Hey, anything will do. Any port in a storm, you know.
And they took pictures with the general handing it out.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
folks, you gotta find the article.
That is socialism. That's what socialism gets you. It gets you such a low standard of living that toilet paper is a suitable gift to a general. Anyway,
but they're loving. They love you.
It's one of the things Maduro said is the Truth Commission can try anyone. Okay. Which also means without reason.
Well, of course.
Without warrants, without due process.
I can look at you. You know what? Your red hair is very suspicious. Come to the truth.
That's what I'm trying to do.
You're not from this continent. You're not.
Now, Nicaragua, back in the 70s and 80s, they had stadiums full of people who disappeared. They would fill stadiums up with people, and they just executed people at will. It's going to happen again.
Well, that's communism.
That's communism, and that's Central South America attitude.
That is why U.S. has frozen all of Maduro's assets in America.
They should have done it a long time ago. I feel bad for the people of Venezuela because I heard it's a very beautiful country.
It is,
and it used to be a very good country. And had
all of South America was wealthy, if not wealthier than the United States.
Yeah, they had a great standard of living.
Yes,
one of the richest oil nations in the world.
Yes, and they handed out toilet paper as a gift.
Right.
That's socialism. Hey, can't stress enough.
Once they're all gone, okay, it'll be good again, right?
Yeah, but it means a lot of people have to die. A lot of people will die.
Yes.
That's on theirs.
Yeah, but a lot of good people. See, the communists, and that's what they are. The communist dictator will kill thousands of people before something changes. And when it does, yes, it will get better. But look at the price they'll have to pay for sitting back and letting a communist dictator take control of their country.
Should America intervene?
I don't know.
Like the United Nations has not said anything about this.
Because he's a communist. They're on his side. The UN loves control. Who's better at control than a dictator? That's why they wanted Hillary. That's why they want Bernie. That's why they want any of those. That's why they don't want Trump.
So once the news articles start coming out where thousands of people are dying, that he's killing people, murdering them like Hitler.
It's going to be a while before.
There'll be the death squads.
Yeah.
They'll show up in the night.
Yeah.
It'll be 1 or 2 people at a time.
It'll be a while before
Like
anybody does anything, and then the UN will have these discussions. It'll be months after that, and more people are going to die, and it's just going to be.
I mean,
and then the sanctions going to kick in, and all those stuff.
By the time the bureaucracy catches up, thousands will have died.
Yeah.
His government,
If not tens of
his
thousands.
armies have already killed over like 200 people. They said.
Well,
That's
just
just on the
start.
street
Just
protests.
start, yeah.
That's just collateral damage due to protests.
Mhm.
Wait till they're actually actively going out and going, hey, this guy that's running this little newspaper,
Yeah, gone.
I need him to go away. So that shopkeeper, he might be a member of a group that opposes us. I want him gone. That's a whole bunch of school teachers, take them out, because that's what they always do. The communists always come in, take out the political opposition. They take out school teachers, poets, newspapers, anything that cause or can cause a revolution has to go away.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Vietnam.
that's just the way it is.
The Viet Cong did not pull in and go, okay, I want all the farmers because we're going to kill all you guys and we're going to leave all the school teachers alone. No, they kill the
their
school.
food.
They kill the school teachers and force the farmers to work.
Right.
So that's how that's the communist. That's just how they work. They've always done it. They've never changed it.
Yeah, it won't change.
No, the only way that changes it, I hate to say it, the only way to cure a
Remove
communist of
power.
communism is to shoot them.
Yeah, eradicate them.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I mean, because it is a real virus within the world. I mean, they oppress people. They've murdered tens of thousands, if not millions. What was it? So
Stalin killed millions.
It was like
Mhm.
they did a whole count from every communist country. It was up in like the 100 millions, if not more.
Since the inception of
people.
communism,
Right.
communism has killed over 100 million people on this planet in the last 100 years.
That's insane, man.
You know,
And that's just on the books,
that's the ones we know about, and that's the ones that are official.
right? Imagine the ones who just walking down the street, bah,
Communism has never worked. It has lasted longer in some places than others, but it has never
ultimately
worked.
fails, right? Ultimately fails.
I mean, communism took over in Russia was it 1917?
Yes.
Okay, it didn't even make it 100 years. Now, democracy in this country has been here for 241 years.
Right.
Okay, I think our track record's a little better.
What about
Despite whatever people might say, yes, we've had some rough patches, but overall, we still inspire individual freedom over everything else. Socialism and communism only guaronees one thing: that you'll all be equally miserable.
Yeah.
That's all they can guarantee. Here,
Or a
all
doctor
we can
can make-
guarantee is that you can do whatever you can get away with.
Pretty
Whatever
much.
you can manage. You're free to starve to death in this country, but you're also free to become a billionaire.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's switch over to George's topics, or do you want to go?
Oh,
with,
let's just bounce
Bitcoin?
around. Yeah, I'm curious about the Bitcoin because I hadn't heard anything about them since they first came out.
So-
I thought they were gone, actually.
Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrencies are virtual money. Like they don't have any paper value. They're just
They just exist in the
they
internet.
just exist on the virtual world.
Much like my debit card, my bank account feels like sometimes.
It's out there somewhere.
So I had a buddy that would
So explain a little bit more, because I don't know too much about Bitcoin. I see it all over the place. You apparently can buy guns and everything else with it.
right. As long as someone's taking in Bitcoin,
Right.
It's
you can
got
buy
a
it.
value.
It's got a value. I mean, there's Bitcoin exchanges around the world.
But does Bitcoin? It has to have a value at some point. Like, let's say I have 10,000 Bitcoin, and it's on the web somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's in an account.
Yes.
At what point do I go, you know what? Can you turn it into paper money for me? Because I need to go buy a car who doesn't take Bitcoin.
You sell it to other members.
So you don't. It's not really an account. So it's like let's say I have 10,000 Bitcoin, and I want to buy something from you, but you don't take Bitcoin. But I can sell my Bitcoin to him, and he'll buy my Bitcoin for cash.
And it'll go into your bank account.
So it sounds a little bit like a black market thing to me.
Because people can't. So the U.S.
So
just
it's
tried to shut down an exchange here in America.
So
Now-
how is taxes are affected by it?
They don't.
There's not. Yeah. So it's very underground.
Yeah. So it's all with all cryptocurrencies. They can't control it.
So besides Bitcoin, what else is it out there?
There's hundreds of cryptocurrencies. Another big one's Ethereum. There's another one called Dogecoin.
Folks, I don't know. This is pretty. We're getting strange territory. No, it's not. It's just disinformation that I myself and I know George hasn't really heard about.
I mean, I knew of it, but
Bitcoin.
But to me, it goes back to one thing. It only has value if you can turn it into
cash.
Real cash
Yeah.
money.
So people they can exchange it and put it right into your bank account.
Yeah, but if I sell him 10,000 Bitcoin,
Well,
but
I
sell
get
it,
$10,000.
he gets 10,000. You know, he gets 10,000 Bitcoin.
So we'll
but
go
I
down
get,
to just like single bitcoins because
Okay.
a bitcoin right now is $3,400. One bitcoin.
Oh,
What?
one Bitcoin.
Yes.
Oh, so it's almost like exchanging a precious metal that you don't ever actually see.
Except it'll go into your bank account, the money.
So
Okay,
if
so-
I sell him a Bitcoin,
3,400.
How do you get a Bitcoin? How
but
about
what
You
if
mine it.
what?
You mine it.
Okay.
So when
So
you're
explain.
when you're
explain to
mining
the audience.
Bitcoin, you're having your machine. It performs a task for the Bitcoin people. They have projects set up. Now, if your computer's faster than everybody else's computer, it'll mine Bitcoin faster than everybody else. Now, there's only going to be a certain amount of Bitcoin that you can actually mine, so there's only a limited amount of Bitcoins. So right now, I think there's only like 2 billion Bitcoins out in the world, but only I think like 500,000 are active.
but who decides how much Bitcoin's out there?
The person that made Bitcoin,
Who
So
made that?
who knows? It's a
Oh,
group of
so-
programming engineers probably.
so when you say mine Bitcoin, you don't really you acquire a credit of Bitcoin for a
Nope.
task
So
performed.
when you're mining Bitcoin, you have your computer. Say it's going to run processes for this program for the Bitcoin people.
Oh, so they're renting space on my
They're
my
renting
processor.
space on your computer to run fast.
Okay,
equivalent
so instead
stuff.
of them having a supercomputer, they're just using all the little ones.
They're using everybody else's computers to mine for them, and if your computer's super fast, it'll mine faster than most other people, so you'll get more Bitcoin because you'll perform more processing speed to that program or task
And
than
then-
other
And
people.
then they pay me in Bitcoin,
Do you know
which I
any-
then exchange for another Bitcoin person who
For
wants
money.
more Bitcoin who has the money.
Yeah.
So do you realize all this sounds like Skynet's going to be kicking in any time now, and it's going to be Judgment Day and Terminator 4.
So
Right.
my buddy, he mined
Get to
Bitcoin
the chopper.
years and years ago, and I think he mined at like 3.5 Bitcoin or whatever. He waited for it to get to about $500 before he sold his Bitcoin. So I mean, he made around like $1,500-$1,600 for doing nothing, just leaving his computer on at night.
So so Bitcoin acts like a stock. It goes up and down in value.
Oh yes, and just in the
So
last
what
like,
happens if I sell him a Bitcoin for $3,400,
Right.
and then 3 days later it goes down to
Crashes.
$18?
You got
he
hosed.
has
After
an
he's
$18
paid-
Bitcoin.
Yeah,
You
then
got-
he paid $3,400 for it.
He has an $18 Bitcoin.
Got
But I
hosed.
still got good old fashioned hard currency for it.
You do
Right.
have currency.
So you just
That's why
got.
I like hard currency.
So the thing
I
is,
kind of like metal.
the prediction Bitcoin in the last 2 years has gone up from $500-$600 to $3,400. They're predicting Bitcoin and other currencies to keep raising. In the next year, they're predicting Bitcoin to get up to about 8,000
Yes, but who decides that it's going to go up that high?
stocks. It's already part of the Dow now.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, man, that's crazy.
Well, the rest of us are busy working our 9-to-5 jobs.
I
You
got
gotta-
nothing my
you
You gotta
computer
deal
on.
with cryptocurrency. So there was another thing that my buddy had. It was called Dogecoin, and I looked at this cryptocurrency before I actually researched a little bit about it. It's a little like a little metal, a little coin, and it has a little picture of a dog on it, a little dog's face.
Okay.
And they were giving that stuff out just to promote their stuff. They're giving it out by the millions. So he, I think, actually has like 1 point something million or whatever, because they're just giving out by millions. So I mean, it doesn't have a really big currency thing right now because it's way
It doesn't have any real value.
yeah. But so right now, I think it sits at like 0.016 cents or something like that, or 1/16 of a cent. So I mean, if he turns that in right now, he can. I think he has like 1.3 million. He can make $1,600 off of something he got for free.
But if you wait till it goes up to $1,
Right. Exactly.
but
Exactly.
when you have virtual money like this,
You cash it in any time.
but isn't there a risk that someone will just say it's done? It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that could be.
What about if I'm a hacker and I hack into his Bitcoin account and I transfer all his Bitcoins to my account?
It hasn't been done yet.
It just doesn't mean it hasn't been done yet.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't mean no.
I mean, that's what.
Stop nobody.
At least that's what I like about my bank account.
See, the
they
thing
have
is,
to get information from me to do it. They can't go in and rob the place.
the thing with Bitcoin is their security is probably one of the top securities ever on virtual hacking. Like, you can't hack another person's Bitcoin wallet because it's constantly changing password. It's constantly changing. So you can't actually get into their Bitcoin wallets. It hasn't been done. I mean, it doesn't mean like it can't be done. It just hasn't been. And,
very interesting stuff.
It's really.
So cryptocurrencies are one of the biggest things out there that are making like a ton of stock market people money because they just throw in.
What's their stock trading at right now, roughly?
Bitcoin?
Yeah.
It's like 3,400 right now.
No, that's for the coin.
Right.
What about for their stock?
It's not a coin. It's virtual.
Okay, the virtual coin is 3,400. What about stock in the company? Do they have stocks?
I'm sure.
Have they gone public? So I'm asking.
I'm not too sure.
I think it's still a major underground thing right now.
I still think it's a great way to evade taxes.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Well, it was another thing that was actually being traded like illegally. People were using Bitcoin to buy like drugs on like Silk Road or buying it on like AlphaNet. And these are like illegal sites that you can actually buy drugs through. And the government, they got so big, the government had to actually take action against them. Because like Silk Road, you could go on there with Bitcoin, be like, I'm going to give you like 0.12 Bitcoin, you give me like 2 pounds of mushrooms. So they send you 2 pounds of mushrooms or whatever, and you send them the 1.2 or 0.12 Bitcoin.
Yes, but then someone just has to track where the mushrooms are going.
If they could find it.
Oh, please, there's postal inspectors, that's all they do.
Exactly. So, I mean, there's all sorts of like stuff. So the Silk Road got away with tons of stuff with selling drugs and whatnot. So that got closed down. Another site opens up called AlphaNet. They did the same thing.
Well, they're never going to stop that kind of stuff.
No, because you shut down
That's just black market.
But Bitcoin, because you can't track where Bitcoin is. So
yeah, because I could have my Bitcoin account can be in one state and I'm in another.
yeah,
so
because you don't have to.
I don't have to
pay
physically
taxes.
be
as
there.
long as your
Yeah.
Bitcoin wallet is matching with the Bitcoin.
So let me get this
Mega
straight.
server somewhere.
If you get into a business, say, or not business, but you get together with a couple guys, you create like a what do they call those, mining farms or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
farm.
And that's all you do.
I watched some videos of people actually creating farms, computer farms for mining Bitcoin.
Well, how do we start that?
If you watch,
If it's not illegal.
It's not illegal. It just soaks up a ton of electricity. If you want to start farms, but other than that, it just, if you just run a regular computer, you might get like 0.1 Bitcoin in like a month or whatever with that thing. But still, that's $300. But you're probably
My computer's on all the time anyway.
But you're probably going to be running, I'd say, 90% of that for electricity because it's just on all the time.
Well, how much power does a computer actually run? No more than your TV.
Exactly, but it's going to be running your processor at full speed, or your processor is going to be running max.
It's just sitting there doing nothing.
Exactly.
It's not paying its way in anyway.
So like there were projects that I watched. I downloaded stuff onto my computers back in the day, and my buddy he downloaded stuff, and people would use our processing speed to complete their projects of things.
I mean, so what you're talking about projects? What kind of projects are they?
They just need
working
calculations done, basically.
You know, NASA calculating the trajectory of an intercontinental ballistic missile entering the California airspace from North Korea.
Yeah, they'll give that computer so much processing and just uses processing speed to help their computers run faster.
Yeah, they're just turning a network of smaller PCs into a giant supercomputer. Because why buy a giant supercomputer when you can slave all the other ones?
Yeah, when you can.
That's true, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too fond of people having access to my personal computer. I mean, even though people can hack into that damn thing now, but still.
Yeah, well, it's become a magic box to most of us anyway. None of us really know how it works anyway.
A magic box.
You plug it in, you put it to an internet, and then people can get in it and destroy it, or they can use it.
Think about it. Do you really know what your computer does? I haven't got a clue. All I know is it makes a fan sound, makes some beepy noises, and it entertains me.
Where you want to go.
Yeah, I can surf the internet. That's all it really. And I watch Netflix. That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the world of cryptocurrencies is just, they have a whole thing that you can look, and the exchanges. The second biggest one I think is Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. Ethereum I think trades for like $200 something to one Ethereum, but these are also just virtual currencies that have no physical.
Yeah, because if they all shut off, you're just out.
Well, exactly, and like you were saying in the beginning, if the government starts shutting these people off, I mean, all that.
So they tried. They shut off a Bitcoin exchange this last
exactly.
week or 2 weeks ago.
So all this mining that these people have done, right?
So these Bitcoin exchanges are saved on multiple brains and different kind of like networks in different states
you never really
and
lose
countries. So you can't lose it. So they shut it down. I think the Bitcoin people actually came out and said, all of your Bitcoin will be given back to you. Don't worry about it.
Because it's virtual. They don't have
virtual. Well, they know the numbers. They're like, well, we'll just.
Because it's not like they have to back it with gold or silver. They just go, okay, this guy had 40 Bitcoin.
Give him 40 Bitcoin.
Put 40 in there. You know, it doesn't cost the company anything because it's virtual.
Yeah.
It's make believe. It might as well be a computer game.
So another thing was they actually had to update their servers this last week. Bitcoin, their Bitcoin actually, they hit their limit of running 20 million transactions per minute on their servers. So they're like, we ran out of space on our servers for people running, everybody in the world running at least 20 million transactions per minute. So they updated it, and they had to actually ask the people that everybody that had Bitcoin, they're like, you either we're going to update to the new Bitcoin, you can say yes or no. So everybody that said, there was a bunch of people that said no, so they're like, all right, we'll just copy it. So they gave everybody the regular Bitcoin, just change it over to the new Bitcoin servers that can run probably like 100 million transactions at once. Everybody also got a second exchange of Bitcoin. Now this is called Bitcoin Cash. So Bitcoin Cash, actually, people were like, well, it's probably going to be like pennies, maybe $5, $10, $20 each. And actually, everybody got an extra like $500 per Bitcoin Cash that they had. So they just made another 25% on top of all of their Bitcoin that they had. They just made another cryptocurrency.
They just made some more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, you know.
And then people are now trading Bitcoin Cash for about $500 of Bitcoin Cash currency, compared to Bitcoin is $3,400. Bitcoin Cash is $500.
So it's just like a sub Bitcoin.
Sub Bitcoin, but people are still trading that for stuff.
It's like a penny stock.
Because the people of Bitcoin were like, we're updating our stuff. Everybody, we can't please everybody, so we'll just make another thing called Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah, I guess. I really don't know. I've never heard about this. I mean, I've heard of it, but I mean, I didn't know anything about it.
But
But
it's how people are becoming millionaires.
It really
overnight.
It really sounds like a plot from a movie villain.
It really does.
Yeah.
And then, so like, say you had 100 Bitcoin. Now the Bitcoin would have been $340,000 you would have had, and then overnight you would just made 25% on that.
But that's based on the fact that Bitcoin has said this is its value.
Right. You could sell it right now in the Dow.
But it's only valuable to people who are willing to spend that much money on
Crypto.
a virtual crypto.
Because
Currency.
all countries are actually going to start probably using Bitcoin. A lot of them do. China opened it up last year to where you can use Bitcoin on their exchanges.
I think this is a real assault on cash.
It really is.
Yeah.
But here's the thing,
It can't be tracked, or
Well,
it can be tracked, but it can't.
Neither
it can't
can
be
cash.
controlled.
You can't track cash. You go to the store and you use your debit card. I know exactly what you bought
At what time?
and where.
Yeah, exactly.
I walk in and break $100 bill and get a couple of sandwiches. No one knows I was there.
Exactly.
You know. So cash is freedom. This could be freedom too, but this is still at the control of somebody. Then again, cash is only valuable as people are willing to spend on it.
Well,
yeah,
another thing is,
exactly.
You can actually proxy yourself from another country, put Bitcoin somewhere else, and then proxy that to where they have to
But
follow.
now I know the IRS has got to be wondering how to get their claws on this.
They haven't figured it out yet, really.
Because if I sell him some Bitcoin
You
on
have
eBay,
numbers. You have numbers that go through you.
that go through the Bitcoin people.
That go through Bitcoin and then go.
Like they act like a little escrow account.
Exchange, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
they act like an escrow. Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna send you my numbers. I'll send my numbers, and then they're gonna be like, we're gonna change numbers.
So they can't track us.
Yes, but then I still get Bitcoin. How do I get my physical cash? Just goes into my account?
You can be like, I'm going to sell my Bitcoin probably back to the Bitcoin exchange, or someone else. You can put your Bitcoin up for sale, and someone actually will buy your Bitcoin and then
Off their site.
Yes, but as soon as your Bitcoin dollars that you got paid for your Bitcoin go into your account in an American bank, then they know where your money is.
Well, exactly.
Well, they know your money's going to be in your account.
Yes, but as soon as you deposit
It's
more
wired
than
there.
yes, but as soon as you deposit
Yeah,
more than
it's going to say who
$10,000,
it's from
Look.
and everything
well,
else.
as soon as you deposit more than $10,000, the IRS has to be notified.
Don't deposit 10,000 or more.
But you know what I'm saying? There's always a paper trail that somebody can get a hold of somewhere.
There's no papers.
There is when it gets to your account.
It's virtual.
Well, all this does is make sure that Bitcoin is safe.
Yeah.
You're not safe. If someone transfers $100,000 into your account for Bitcoin,
Oh, you got
the
the red
IRS
flags,
is gonna
man.
be. Unless
Unless you transfer it to an offshore account and then slowly.
That's what you'd have to do. You'd have to do
pump it back in.
offshore.
Yeah,
So this is just a money making scheme for people with a lot more money than us.
exactly.
But we could probably make a few bucks on the side ourselves.
Yeah. So, I mean, they will allow you to mine Bitcoin if you want. So,
Gears are turning.
all the
Oh, man.
cryptocurrencies have some sort of a form that they will allow you to get some sort of cryptocurrency from it.
And if your computer's running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week anyway, so it takes a year to make $500.
It's free
It's
$500.
$500, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a car payment for some people.
Give you some weight.
And it just goes to a
It's not a
magical.
car payment for me.
Well, it goes to a magical virtual bank.
It's a computer game
Exactly, with real money.
with real money, which makes it even more dangerous.
Yeah, right. I don't know when to stop.
So, I mean, if you want to look into the world of cryptocurrencies, I mean, just
Yeah,
feel
we
free
all
to
just
just
got
type in
an
cryptocurrency.
Just
and
got
it'll
an
give you
education
a
on it. I didn't know it was this big. Oh well.
Yeah, I truly didn't know it was that vast.
But
you
you
know,
don't know-
obviously you heard about it.
You want to know? You want to know why you heard about it? I remember this now.
Oh.
We heard about it because well, terrorists and pedophiles will use it. Well, yeah. Well, so will Granny, who just wants money.
No, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
they
They
don't want
always lean
people
towards
looking at it.
They're always lean towards the worst people to stop something.
So,
Well,
so
you know.
will drug dealers.
Drug
so will
dealers use
everybody.
cash anyway. Cash is not bad.
This is like
Cash
a
is
cash
good.
to them.
Yeah. It's just another medium of exchange.
Another medium was changed. I could put $100 onto the Bitcoin server.
So,
buy
George-
$100 with Bitcoin, exchange it with someone else for some other article.
Right.
No one will know.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy your car. I'm gonna put 30 Bitcoin in your account.
In your account.
Deal.
Boom,
Here's your car.
Done.
Yeah. But now he's got Bitcoin that he has to resell to somebody to get his money out of it.
Or he can continue buying stuff with that Bitcoin. I mean, it doesn't take long for that
You
Bitcoin
actually
to sell.
don't actually have to exchange cash for it.
No, you
It
don't.
could be like it could be a virtual barter system.
Yes,
Right.
it is.
Okay, I'm cool with barter systems.
It's barter system, cash, whatever you want it to be.
I just don't have any barter. We got nothing to exchange.
I have 1 Bitcoin. What do you have? Oh, I have 2 ounces of gold. Cool. Cool. Got 2 ounces of gold.
Yep. And you got imaginary money.
Exactly.
I got the real stuff, you know.
I'll take the real stuff every time. But you know,
Exactly.
someday virtual or Bitcoin could be the real stuff.
It could be.
You know, maybe that's what they talk about when you see those Star Trek episodes where they talk about we don't have money anymore. We have crypto coin, but they never say that. They just say we don't have money, so it's like utopia.
Right. Well,
It's still there in the form of virtual.
It's
or-
just a form of ones and zeros somewhere.
right. We got time for one more.
Oh, I did want to mention this because we haven't heard about this kind of stuff except in movies and a couple hundred years ago. Tourists. This is from August 8th. This is from Jonathan Perlman out of Sydney. It's tourists on a luxury cruise were suddenly subject to dusk till dawn blackout by the captain and ordered to go without the standard entertainment and trappings for 10 days because of a pirate threat. When's the last time you heard about a cruise line being under the threat of pirates? Yeah, exactly. I mean, they were doing that Somali thing, capturing freighters, because there's 5 guys on that boat.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but the
Captain Phillips.
the
Yeah.
1,900 passengers aboard the Sea Princess who paid more than 30,000, and I think that's euro,
Euros, yes.
for a 104-day world cruise departing from Sydney were apparently stunned to learn that all curtains must be drawn and shutters closed as the vessel was turned into a ghost ship. First of all, I only have a couple of questions. One, why are we still worried about pirates? And 2, who can afford to go on a 104-day world cruise?
For 30,000
Hey,
euros.
you'd be surprised.
104 days. I've been on a
That's
cruise.
millionaires.
I would be 500 pounds.
No, you'd be surprised, man.
You'd be drunk half
I'm
of it.
drunk all out of my mind for 100 days.
when I was in Germany, I know you were in Germany.
No.
You know.
I went as a tourist.
A tourist, but when I was stationed over there, they were making some big bucks, man. You know, I mean, to them it's just you know, like minimum wage or just normal wages.
This is for a third of a year.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, man. If they could afford, what was it, like a 1,500 euro driver's license, you know what I'm saying? What makes you think that they can't afford?
Well, no, I'm sure this is a trip people save up for a long time. 30,000 euros. With 30,000 euros, what? Well, it's less now, isn't it?
No, it's still more than
They go back up again?
Yeah, it's still more
And
than
to
that.
go back up, but it's never cracked the 1-to-1 ratio.
It's too bad. I like Canada better because it was last time I went. It was
Canada's a 4-to-5 ratio to us.
Yeah, the last time I was there, it was 90 cents on the dollar.
It's 80 cents to a dollar.
Yeah, it's time to go back to Canada.
Yeah.
But describing the ordeal, a passenger said that the blackout occurred for 10 days as the ship traveled, get this is the key, traveled across the Indian Ocean, the Arabian Sea, the Gulf of Aden, and the Suez Canal, better known as the Middle East. So, again, the Middle East is a toilet that you should avoid at all costs.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Almost slipped out
You
there.
almost slipped. But good thing you got yourself.
Toilet.
You know.
Same area. No deck parties, no movies under the stars, no late night outdoor bar hopping or pool dipping. She wrote an account on the news.
For a whole week and a half almost.
Yeah.
That
I mean,
must
what
have
do
been
you
boring.
on a 104-day cruise, and for 10 days you live with your
That's
parents.
a tenth of it.
Your parents.
AKA the ship.
Yeah. I mean, man, just imagine though. The only thing you can do is go to the bathroom,
Confined
go
quarters.
You
Yeah.
can find the quarters, but during the day you could meal about. There's a lot of drinking and romance. That's all you can do.
It's just-
Yeah, that's true.
That's the upside.
Just at night, go to sleep.
Yeah. Keep your curtains.
So it had like a little martial law on there.
A little bit, and it said that the captain later announced, after the dusk to dawn blackout, that they would have compulsory pirate drills. I mean, can you imagine because I've been on a cruise. The crew members on a cruise, they work a lot of hours.
I bet.
They work. They go down below to wherever the heck they hold them in. They're like galley slaves. They sleep. They
Galley
work.
slaves.
Well, literally, you know, because as many people as there are on the boat, there's at least a third of that in crew.
Right,
It seems
exactly.
like. And I would go to eat breakfast and lunch and dinner at the same little restaurant. Was always the same people waiting on me. They were there more than I was. So that means there's also those people down below deck. So
Right.
it's cramped. Pirate drills. You know, not only do you have to make sure fat tourists are fed and drunk all the time, you now have to do pirate drills as a part of your employment. What is the world coming to? And speaking of the Middle East, I got one more. It's about a mom in. He was in California. He was did 2 sermons on a Friday, and he was spewing hate speech, and we're not supposed to say anything bad about it, which is what we were catching. Not us personally, but people were catching.
We have to be loving, George.
We were catching heat for saying what he said was hate speech, and it was not hate speech. And I have this quote here, and you tell me if you think this is hate speech. He was calling for the elimination of the filth of the Jews. Okay, if I said that about him, I'd go to jail. Okay, we have a violent wing of anti-Jew in this country,
Right.
and they're immune, and they're most exclusively always the Islamists. It's always the Muslims who scream about the Jews and the Jewish
Of course.
community.
I mean, that
And
war's
yet
been
we're
going on for.
we're the hate ones. We're the ones filled with hate. You know. Anyway, I just always keep an eye on that. Watch the mosques in your neighborhood. They so far as I can tell, none of them are. They're not very American in my opinion. If they can say things like that about one segment of the community and we can't stop it, how long before they start saying that about us?
Well, they already are.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
What's his name? Sour face, whatever. I don't know.
South Sewer.
Yeah, whatever. She openly declared
A jihad on the
on the country.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. If I said, "Oh, we got to eradicate all the radical Islam in America,"
Well, think
you
about
know?
it. If some redneck hillbilly trailer
That's
park
what I'm
guy with
saying.
a Confederate battle flag said we need to declare war on the White House,
Larry the Cable Guy. Imagine Larry the Cable Guy.
he'd be. If you said that, if you hold that big flag, you had a big straw hat, you're acting all hillbilly, and you scream something like that, you would be in jail so
He's
fast.
shot on sight, probably. I'm
You'd be in jail.
exaggerating a little bit, but yeah, you know, it's just to that certain extent, you know, and that we really have to stand up against the tyranny within, you know, because
it's a fifth column in our country.
Yeah, it really is. And we
anyway,
do have to start.
we ended on a nice sour note as usual.
Yeah, exactly.
Start out with pirate drills.
So everybody out there, buy Bitcoin and Ethereum before
Yeah.
it goes up. Try and make some money.
And
Okay.
and try to avoid the 104-day cruise to the Middle East if
Right.
you're going to pass through there, because it's going to be very quiet.
Or just plan your trips accordingly to not go through there.
Or that too.
Yeah, avoid Morocco.
Oh, sorry. Bitcoin's 3,500 today.
No.
Oh, I am going to look into this because I got nothing to lose.
Down up 100.
But more importantly, check out the website, stanshoe.com. I know we really didn't pitch anything.
Because the
during
T-shirt
broadcast.
says, yeah, we still don't take Bitcoin for them.
Yeah, so we
See
do
that?
take cash card for the shirts.
Wow, that's actually kind of interesting. Till he shuts the internet off.
So that shuts it off.
Tell him I tell him.
Oh, there's an article here from The Atlantic. It's a hyperinflation has driven thousands to seek out an unorthodox currency, which is Bitcoin. So a lot of people in Venezuela are actually mining Bitcoin for their money.
Too bad they can't mine toilet paper in Venezuela.
Or real gold.
Or real gold.
So right now it looks like their annual inflation rate is 1,600%. So if their dollar is $1 today, next year it'll be $16.
Right.
That's pretty. That's a lot. That's like having 4 Jimmy Carters in office.
1,600%. $1, so no, it'd be $1,600. What am I thinking?
I don't know. I can't do that math in my head.
Whatever.
It's all you, man.
It's just skyrocketing.
But
It's
check out
gonna
the
be a
website.
lot.
Purchase a shirt. There's one of the home of the
I
free.
can't guarantee they'll look as good on you as they do on me.
Oh wow! And then take the Liberty or Death. Don't tread on me. The third one is Liberty or Death. Evil is not the greatest of all deaths. Stop, man. And then we're having Moan Lobby shirts come in, and then as well as more Don't Tread on Me shirts. So take a stand for liberty. Check out the site stanshoe.com. You're also helping the Liberty Move as well. So have that to look forward to. And also our contest is still out there. We haven't received any submissions. Still waiting on that. That is the video of talking about term limits.
Give us ideas on term limits. Be passionate about it.
Right, exactly.
I'm all for term limits.
Right.
We figured you were. We just went on without you because we knew you'd be in agreement on term limits.
Yeah. So submit the videos to thestandshow@gmail.com. We'll review them, and then I'll ultimately pick a winner. And then the winner gets one of our fabulous shirts.
We're gonna let him pick
Sure.
it because we're not like a junta, a council. We just made him in charge.
Before we end, I just want to
Not a
make a
dictator.
quick thing about Kid Rock,
Oh yeah.
who's running in Michigan. He's actually going up against 2 Democratic senators there that have both the seats. One has been in there for 27 years. The other one's only been in there for 2 years. And he actually leads both of them right now in the polls. So
Good. I'm happy. I will be happy to see that happen. Not because I have any big things, hopes or aspirations for Kid Rock, but I just want to see. We need this mix up. We need
And
to
then-
shake it up.
one other thing, Caitlyn Jenner is actually says she might run for a political seat in California as well.
As a man or a woman.
Doesn't matter at this point. She does not. She or
Okay.
he/it.
Now, do you understand the conflict this is going to come up with? A transgendered person who supports Trump and is a reasonable conservative is going to run in a state that's primarily mostly liberal and democratic. Talk about
Good luck.
conflict and confusion that's going to cause.
For the whole of them.
Do you like now? If I was a liberal in California, do I vote for Caitlyn Jenner because she's a brave woman,
Man, transgender.
that's a brave hero, or do I vote against her because she's a Trump supporter? There's some serious psychology in this one. This is a toughie. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how that shakes out. That's going to be interesting.
That would be interesting. I mean, that would be fun. That goes in your
Because actually,
your craziness.
here's the difference. As a conservative, I will vote for Caitlyn Jenner or Bruce Jenner, whatever he or she is calling. I'm going to call it just Jenner.
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 That's her-
I will.
Yeah.
I would vote for Jenner because if he's
a true
a
conservative.
conservative, it doesn't roll off the tongue yet.
I don't know. Man, dwarf, woman,
But
conservative.
if Jenner is a conservative, I will vote
she's
for
a
him.
he. I mean, he's
No,
a
but
she.
you got to understand. If Jenner is a conservative, I can vote for him with a clear.
Her.
I can, see, that's the thing with this whole pronouns. It's really hard. I can vote for Jenner because because they are
No,
running.
she doesn't go with they. She's not a
Okay,
gender.
all of them. I can vote for all of them because they're running as a conservative, and I believe in conservative values. And I would not vote for him because it's a
Her.
transgendered person.
Her.
But a liberal will not vote for Jenner because they.
Maybe they will.
I don't know. It's see how much confusion it's caused me, and I know exactly how I'd vote already. Can you imagine a liberal that's got it? This will keep them up at night.
Like, I gotta vote for a transgender, but not because it's not democratic.
I want to vote for the transgender hero, but they support Trump and is a conservative. No. Yeah.
It'd be like those videos where they're screaming, you know.
Yeah.
Just click the button.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to be able to just watch the inner workings of a liberal mind when they try to process that, and it's hard for me because I still know, but because I would just vote for them.
The one that says R.
Yeah, if it's got an R, I'm down. Yeah, that's what it is.
There
We're not
you
men
go.
and women are. We're D's and R's. That's how
D's and
everyone got
R's.
it.
D's and R's.
D's and R's.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen,
Ow.
we're going to sign off for
I'm gonna
tonight.
headache now.
Yeah, we get a drink or something after the show. Anyways, thank you again for watching The Stand. Always take the stand for liberty, standshirt.com. Support us by buying one of the shirts. Or if you don't want us to buy one of the shirts, share and like us, support us, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And ultimately, that's the way we're going to grow and hopefully get back on radio. So,
We'll be checking on that real soon.
yes, absolutely. So again, ladies and gentlemen, take the stand for liberty. Shane, Lance, and George for The Stand. Good night. God bless.
Good night. See you next week.